Welcome everyone to AMA number 16. I'm going to go ahead and just pass it on to Chuba, and he will go ahead and give some marketplace updates over the last week.
Sounds like a plan. All right, so I'll just say we're finishing up sprint six. And to give some details on what happened in this sprint, the database migration has basically been completed. So the new database is healthy and stable on the development environment. This basically unblocks a whole bunch of development work that, has been an issue since kind of the stuff that we've been resolving for the last few weeks, that, we've gone into a lot of detail about. So now I can say that we have tested and stabilized the Next.js environment within the marketplace. To translate that to something that makes sense to you guys, it means we'll see the SEO and the social media sharing very soon, basically. Search filter by traits are going to be done as well in this next update. So we're continuing with the backend support for it in the next sprint. So that's done on the database side. We just need the front end support as well. Next.js integration has been added to the auctions, but the auctions have not been released yet. So when those are released, you'll see kind of that same stuff as with the marketplace, as well as unblocking and continuing work on the LM55 support and the automated testing framework. So to give some insight into what we're doing in the next sprint, on top of onboarding new DevOps and working towards unblocking these releases, there's a bunch of stability and scalability improvements that we're working on. These include reconfiguring the microservices with support for this new database, as well as finishing up the filter by trait support, converting that to a more microservice architecture, which will speed it up significantly, as well as beginning the backend for the auctions, and connecting that with the new database. Additionally, we'll start testing the ERCLM55 support over this next week, next 2 weeks, and improve the user profile and my NFTs pages. I don't know how many improvements there are there, but it's a lot of like really pretty visual improvements that are just going to give you guys like a really clean experience when using the my profile page and kind of being able to both see your NFTs and interact with them and the marketplace. Um, Additionally, we did start discussing bundles, and are making good progress there. And on top of bundles, as well as beginning planning for additional auction support outside of the auction house, but in the realm of like English auctions and Dutch auctions and so forth. Let's see. I think I can pass it over to Zach to start talking about some of the polymorph stuff, right? Yeah.
Yeah, can you guys hear me? I was rugged for a second on my phone.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, cool. Um, yeah, so last week I said that we were gonna have Burnaments out on Thursday, which would be tomorrow. We're actually gonna push it back until Monday just to do some final testing and sanity checks and just make sure everything is functioning properly. We have been testing a ton for the past few weeks, but I want to give the team another couple days to test everything and make sure we're all good. Um, so apologize about the delay on that, but I just want to make sure everything is working and there's no issues. So yeah, next Monday, Burnament will go live. And then shortly after that, we have a little gift to uh, for all the people that burn their polymorph V1s to claim. And you'll find out about that soon. Really excited to release this new polymorph front end. I think it looks really good. And then, yeah, we have a polymorphic therapy episode premiering at 4:30 today. So 4:30 EST. So I'm excited for that as well.
Yeah, that'll be premiering on our YouTube, and we'll throw links in the Discord for everybody. So I think we can go ahead and, I mean, if
I was just gonna add that we don't like pushing, like when we do give dates, we don't like pushing them back. So that is our bad on that end. But it just it works better for us because we have the week to resolve questions and that the community may have, and it works better for the community, like us as polymorph holders as well. Like we can just you can kind of met at your leisure throughout the week, and then over the next week or two, like Zach said, we will have that gift coming for people that do burn. So there's no rush, but if you want to get that gift, you will need to burn your polymorphs. So that's kind of why we chose to do it that way.
Okay, perfect. So we can open this up to the AMA section.
There's a question on the polymorph bridge. Resistance asked if he bridges the polymorph to Polygon to scramble, and then are you able to bridge it back to mainnet? And the answer is yes. The bridge works both ways. And the
And just
bridge
to
will
add,
come. Go ahead, Juba.
sorry, I was going to clarify to the response that he got from Mayo regarding it being a like polymorph stay on layer 1 but scramble on layer 2. They actually do need to be bridged over if you do want to scramble them on layer 2. So you can't hold them on L1 and run the scramble itself on L2. You actually have to bridge it over, and then if you
The
want to
scramble will not work even on L1 for the old polymorphs. If you want to scramble, you're gonna have to burn them. That part of the reason we paused scrambling is why we are upgrading the polymorphs. So if you want to scramble them again, you're gonna have to burn them, regardless if it's on L1 or L2.
This may have been discussed before, but do people know how much it's going to cost to, like, per polymorph to bridge them? To bridge them?
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna depend like insanely on gas prices. So I don't have the estimates in front of me. And I know it's cheaper, I believe, if you burn more of them together, but not significantly cheaper. So it should be pretty similar across the board for everyone. But I don't want to give a wrong number, but I remember it being around 0.04 ETH at around 50, but this is like me pulling that out of my butt. So I'll need to double check and put a tweet out for the community.
Yeah, and we can also drop that in the Discord for everyone. But I do want to say, because Tyler said bridge, when you are burning your polymorph, they're not being bridged. I think in about a month is when we are set to have the polymorph bridge live. About 2 weeks to or 3 weeks to a month. Like we said, we don't.
Yeah,
like
that's
giving-
correct.
Oh yeah, okay. We don't like giving exact dates just because dates get pushed back or pushed forward depending on how things go. But the bridge will be for Polygon. You'll be able to scramble on Polygon for cheaper gas prices, and you'll also eventually will have the battle game, and that'll be on Polygon. So you'll need to have your polymorphs on Polygon to be able to participate in the battle game, I believe. Or
Yeah.
we're also
Yeah,
gonna have
the
L1
battle
battles.
game will be on the battle game will be on Polygon. And there will be a range of like very cheap to more expensive different lobbies you can join. So and that's really the main purpose of having the bridge. So
Yeah. So
The
I
bridge
just
will come
kind of
out
wanted to
first.
clarify that.
the bridge will come out like Nick said 3 weeks to a month from Burnament going live, and then hopefully soon after that we'll have the battle game out, because really that's the main purpose of the bridge, is to be able to participate in the battle game on Polygon.
But I think that's kind of it for polymorph updates.
Yeah.
If you guys want to open it up for questions in the pre-AMA channel, if anyone wants to raise their hand, you can. We can do it that way too. I guess Mark usually leads the questions.
I mean, that was one of the first questions in the AMA channel. It doesn't look like we have any questions on the forum.
I just wanted to jump back in real quick. I double checked and can confirm that I was about an order of magnitude off. It's about like 0.002 ETH at around 50 Gwei to burn one polymorph. So about $5 to $6 a polymorph to burn them and upgrade them from B1 to B2.
So significantly cheaper than what
I
you
was
said.
gonna say, when you said 0.04, like, yeah, no, like that, but you're the dev. I didn't want to.
Yeah, no, I was an order of magnitude off there, but that was
But
that's what,
we should We should get the gas estimates for the actual bridge as well once that is getting closer, so
Yep.
we can give those estimates. But it should be fairly optimized.
We had a question about kind of. Hold on, let me go back to pre-image. It says, is there a roadmap or action plan for the submission of Loomis bill in the U.S.? How will the universe tackle upcoming relationships with the authority? The Lobby Lobsters was kind of our effort at lobbying towards crypto, and we've already donated all that money. I forgot the exact organization, but we donated all the money to them, and from what I understood, it was like a few years of runway for them.
Yeah,
so, Coin Center, yeah, that's the one I wanted to say, but I didn't want to be wrong. So
ongoing like secondary fees would be also needed to be looked at on like an ongoing basis, but they haven't been crazy. I think because people realized that this was buying art as a donation. But yeah, we talk about that on a lot of calls, and ultimately, like all of the money was sent on chain to Coin Center, and they confirmed that it's bought them years of runway. They've continued to work on lobbying efforts, including like what has helped, like this recent bill. Like, I mean, they were able to expand talent, expand world-class lawyers. They worked with more politicians. So ultimately, I think that that's probably long-term going to help the rest of the NFT industry for a long time to come. But the lobby lobsters themselves, we have a lot of stuff to focus on, and this stuff costs money to focus on.
I don't think that is necessarily what this question is talking about. Like,
they didn't really ask about the Lobby Lobsters. They asked more about what we're doing to help. And
I don't think that's what this question's asking or saying.
Yeah,
Nick.
it's a different
The
question.
Loomis bill is essentially that drafted proposal that was released a few nights ago. I think he's trying to ask, because there was a lot of information about DAOs, unincorporated DAOs having to incorporate if they're in the United States. I think that this guy's asking is like, do we have an action plan?
Okay, the answer to that is like, we're aware of it, but like, here's the deal. None of that is like a law. Like, none of it signed into law. The bill is going to be drastically changed between now and then. There will be good things added, good things added, bad things added, good things removed, bad things removed. It's a draft of a bill. And ultimately, like, when it's signed into law, like as it gets closer, then I think that like as an industry we'll know more. But like, I mean, for us to game plan exactly how this bill would affect us if it was signed into law today as is honestly a waste of everybody's time, because it's just that isn't the fact of what's happened. There's a proposal of a bill on the Senate floor, and ultimately lawyers are going to argue about it for the next couple of months. We don't even know if it's going to be a law. It looks promising overall. There's some pretty bad parts to it as well. And we just don't have real facts to operate on, because none of this actually is a law right now. And so, yeah, I mean, we could spin our wheels on every proposal that's put on the Senate floor, but it would just be a waste of our time. That's what lawyers and lobbyists, and that's what the Senate does. So once we get there, then I think as an industry, we'll have more information. But right now, like, we're operating on incomplete information, and it's probably a waste of all of our times to really focus on it.
We do recommend you follow Coin Center. We do think they're doing good things that are helping, like we said, helping the community, the crypto community. And we definitely think they'll be helping on this Loomis bill that's being talked about.
Where someone said Wyoming has DAO law currently, like, yeah, okay, you're right, but it's not federal law. So, like, I mean, how this affects people internationally, how it affects people in the United States, it's all different. And ultimately, there may be tax benefits to structuring things certain ways. And yeah, as a community, we're going to have to deal with that as it comes out. But like, we just don't know right now what, if this changes anything at all. And so, yeah, I just think we have to wait. I mean, I've reviewed it all, like me and Troy have, like people have definitely read it and kept up with it. I think that we've known that some degree of a bill like this was going to come into place so that crypto can be less of the wild, wild west. And I think that there's various like high level things that we can just make assumptions that are going to get included from like us just following the industry for so long. But like the end of the like the end of the situation here is that this thing is not a US law at this moment. And so until it gets closer to that point and we start getting more verification from like industry leaders that are close to this working on this, then we're just kind of making plans for shit that isn't real yet. So yeah, I mean, we're paying attention to it. It doesn't affect us right now. And yeah, we have to watch it as an industry to see how it would affect us. That's the true answer.
The follow-up question that OX3T2 Delta has, I think there was just confusion. Nick brought up the lobby lobsters, but he's just kind of talking about how like that money that we raised is hopefully is being applied to this, and probably most definitely is. Nick was just saying that that runway we provided for Coin Center was a few years of runway, so you know, Tyler mentioned they're able to hire better lawyers and put efforts towards these types of bills and to make these revisions so that, you know, things like this can actually be reviewed by people in the industry and know what they're talking about versus just senators who are writing a bill. So essentially that's why that was brought up. So just answering your kind of follow-up question, it seemed like you were a little bit more confused. Like kind of confused.
I think he was trying to clarify.
Yeah, I was just trying to clarify.
What you were trying to say, and no, or clarifying, but I think basically everyone sees lobby lobsters were awesome, and we donated a bunch of money to Coin Center, and now they have additional runway to you know do what they need to do with. I know I've praised Coin Center a bunch in the past, even on these calls. You know, especially if you follow them on Twitter, you see they catch all different kinds of stuff. You know, this is a really big law that everyone's paying attention to, but they also catch a lot of small things that nobody really would notice without them being the ones to look at it. So I know I appreciate their efforts, and I know everyone else at Universe does as well.
And the rest of this stuff is also just assumptive from the Mr. V guy. Like, ultimately, we're not going to do something that, like, I mean, everyone on this call has to move to a completely different place in the world. Like, it's unrealistic. So, like, Chad, I agree that I like state law as well, but federal law oversees it. And so, like, it doesn't matter. And so, yeah, I think that the federal government needs to get their answers straight on this. And then as an industry, I think we plan, but like, I mean, we don't know shit right now.
Yeah, and some of us have already moved, so we don't want to move again.
I think it's going to be fine. Overall, the bill seems promising that the government does not seem to want to shut down crypto. I think there's certain aspects of it that they do. And I mean, to say that this isn't going to affect us in any capacity if it goes through is probably would be extremely misleading. But I mean, we just have to let the dust settle.
I don't think we have any new questions, and we've been trying to keep these a little short because they are YouTube videos and we want to maintain engagement. So I think we can call it kind of early here. I do want to say, guys, I got to, again, you know, it happens in every Discord. I got a message from a universe saying, before I even could read it, like Discord said, this is from a spammer. But just always be aware, nobody in here or any Discord is going to be messaging you good things. I honestly advise you to just turn off Discord DMs entirely. But yeah, just be aware, be smart, be safe. Nobody's giving you free money, and nobody's giving you free ghost mints. It's just not happening. So we banned
And
them.
most importantly, don't miss the polymorphic therapy episode 2 premiere on our YouTube today at 4:30 p.m. Eastern time. I personally think this is my favorite one so far. But yeah, I think it's hilarious.
Like and subscribe if you guys are watching on YouTube afterwards. I'm really excited for me too, Mark. I'm excited for this new episode. It's awesome.
And thank you guys for the questions. We appreciate it. Honestly, OX3T2 Delta, appreciate it because the Loomis bill is definitely something we're all really paying attention to and trying to figure out. And we will definitely do whatever we need to move Universe forward. You can for sure bet that. But like Tyler says, we do want to protect everyone on these calls. So we're just going to let the dust settle.
All right, everybody. Talk soon.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Cheers.